Plastic model builders, welcome back. I am your host, Ari, and this is the Revell Spitfire MK2 Part 2 1/48 scale Revell model. Alright, so we are painting the inside of this carburetor. You see we did that silver. And look, they put the logo in such a great spot. Scrape it off if you don't want it there. That's what I did. I'm sorry, I said carburetor before. It's a radiator. Put the radiator in. The carburetor goes in later. That's on the underside. Alright, so more thick parts. I had to use my saw to cut through these. These are the wings, the top wing halves. Let's put them on. You want to check the fit. There's some things under there that you need to scrape away. And this is it. Otherwise, you're not going to get quite a good fit. Whether yours did that, I don't know. Mine did that, so I'm showing you so you know to look out for that. Got 3 little pegs. Make sure you put the holes into the pegs. By the way, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like, because I know you love me and you love watching my videos. We do a chat every video that I come out with, and you can join that live chat. It's a premiere. As well, I've got a new Facebook group that I started, which is called Plastic Model Builder. You can post whatever on there that's model related. I don't care. Just read the group rules. I'm going to have some links in there later on, and you can see those links at the bottom of the description of my videos. So anyway, the wings are attached. Now we want to attach the fuselage to this model. The wing fit is not great, so you're going to have to do some seam work, I promise. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong because you can see it right here. It goes on good, but you see there's this huge gap, so I put lots of glue in here and hope to melt some of that plastic together. Might be good to make some paste that you can use for that instead of filler, and it'll really bond that good. You see right there, not the best fit. That's okay. It's a model. We're going to make it work. Here's another good shot. You're going to see the work you have to do here. Stabilizers, watch out for that little piece there. These only go one way when you put them in. See? Not going to fit. Got to turn it around. Goes the other way. I'm sorry you can't see it too well right there, but put our glue in between there. Put that in just like that. If I haven't mentioned it, watch the whole video in case there's something you miss, because sometimes there is. I know people like to fast forward through stuff to see certain things, but just watch the whole thing, because I like having a lot of watch minutes, and it's good for viewership. YouTube likes it, and I like it, so help a modeler out. Anyway, so that's the carburetor, as I was talking about earlier. The other thing before was not the carburetor. So put that on, just like so. And now what are we going to do? Model, making madness, and make it look pretty. Fill in the seams. I've got my tape on there. Why? Because I'm messy. And if you don't want your putty going over stuff, you cover it with tape because it eats stuff. Now this putty smells kind of bad, so use a vent while you're doing it. I did. That way you're not breathing this stuff in. This is how I put it on. Not the best in the world. I got a little lazy, but it works. That's all that matters, is the outcome, how it looks in the end. You see that's the front of the plane right there where the wing meets up close to the prop. There's the sides of the wings. I used some rather thick tape, thickness wise, that way I didn't get stuff anywhere, because you can see some places it just really goes all over the place. And then once you get the tape off, you will have to sand this down. Make sure you press it on smooth. That way you don't have to sand too much. This was a fun part right there. Pitot tube goes right there in that little hole. Just like that. Don't knock it off. Clean the model properly. We are spraying this with primer. Why? Because we are going to camouflage this model. That's right, we are painting it now. So I give it a nice coat of primer, and then another coat of primer, and then we are going to paint it a light blue color underneath. It's barely a blue color, but it is still a blue color. Lots of that with this plane, and this is the top of it. More primer, last bit of primer, and then we'll do, like a coat of primer. Just go the other direction, that way you cover it flat. And I did have some of this peel up, and you'll see that at the end of the video, so you can watch that, and if you're lucky you'll get a glimpse of it. Paint the little propeller there. Just priming some of these are for the wheels. I do put my wheels on in reverse accidentally, the landing gear. Oops. Yeah, it happens. I found out about that a year later in a forum, and they said reverse it, so I broke them off and I reversed them. You will see them on the improper way in this videos that I do, but those are in a later thing. So I'm going to paint the canopies right here, the windows. I do the outside and the inside. Yeah, I know I paint the inside black. Outside goes brown, at least where these are. I had a lot of fun painting this model because I did freehand camouflage. I don't know how you do yours. Some people mark the demarcation line, some people put putty down. This time I did not do that for the demarcation lines. I just freehanded it. It's fun to test your airbrushing skills too. So get at it. So here we go. Painting the seams, seeing how they look. They were okay. Wasn't too worried about it because I can weather it. Inside of these go aluminum or steel, whatever you want to do. Just whatever you have to do to get the desired look. By the way, I put steel inside of that little thing there too. That was on the top, the square thing. Can't remember the name of it. Go back to the first part of the video. You'll see that. All right, so this is the landing gear that's getting sprayed. Spray the other stuff. Doing a light blast coat of silver on my exhausts. So I masked off with silly putty. Yeah, it sometimes gets a little messy, but works great. Just stick it in there, and then when you go to remove it, just kind of pop it out. There were two different ways I did it. I only show you one because the first way took too long when you get rid of it. So there's my gray mix for the underside. Kind of green, kind of gray, a little bit of blue. But when it goes light, it's hard to notice, and it looks almost like an original Spitfire. Just light coats at first, and then as I always, in every video, you build up to a deeper hue. The base coat of white really helped with this because, you know, it's almost like the same color. And I like to sometimes not have a perfect airbrush pattern, and doing so, it makes it kind of unique. Sticks out like this. See how that looks? It looks kind of almost like it's got wind going over it, got dirt going over it, all sorts of fun stuff. And once you're done painting, we'll peel out our putty. This is how I did it from that side because it comes out a lot easier if you go in reverse like that. Boom! There it is. Nice silver color inside of there. Black, as I was telling you earlier, inside of the windows. Yes, that's how I did it. Hopefully it's right. I'm sure somebody will tell me if it's wrong. Not a big deal because that's how I roll. All right, so just one more coat of black on the wheels. Now, we're doing like a brown color. Find one that works for you. Everybody is different. I used a Tamiya color, I believe, for mine. Goes on great, and you can see the streaks that I leave in there. Different hues. Works great. Gives the wings some originality and the rest of the plane. Just like that. Make sure you get that leading edge. The leading edge is always important. People forget about that leading edge sometimes, and it just is disastrous. So there's the wing. After you put on the first coat, remember, always put on another coat. After that, 2 coats of paint. Then let the first coat dry, like for 10 minutes. I don't know, something. But you'll see what it does here on the side. It's real light. I got some stuff masked off. And see, there's the top. Going and putting on the second coat. I like how it's kind of dull. It didn't turn out dull in the finished product because I didn't use a true dull coat. But, you know, it is what it is. So now, dark green canopies. Dark green, as you can see on the top. Get this little guy here. And this one. And we will glue those on very last thing on this model. So the camo. Freehand. That's right. Another camo video from me. And this time I'm freehanding everything. See, I just kind of go right along that edge. We will be putting a white stripe on the back there. That's later on in this video, so make sure you watch so you can see that. And that is also when the paint peels off. Yeah, I know. I know. But I figured this is probably how they painted the plane in reality. They just went all the way across it, and then they put the white stripe in there. So here we go, going all the way across. I did cover up the inside of the cockpit so we wouldn't ruin such a beautiful paint job. Notice I do not even have my exhaust things in there yet. Why? Because I didn't want to put them in yet. I didn't feel they needed to go in dead last because I have a space for it, and I'd rather not have to do extra masking. Masking cannot be fun at times. Here's a stabilizer. Little bit of paint there. And then we go to the other side. You see me filling in that. And that's pretty much how this looks. I like it. So get that color in there. Do that. And of course, we need to paint the stripe in the back. Peel off this right here. And you kind of see that bluish green color on there. Got a little bleed through on that, but it's okay. You can just weather it, put stuff on there, hide it. Peel off that right there. So here's that stripe. You see I have it masked off. I probably could have masked off a little bit differently because it's hard to get the exact curve. And this is a light blue color. Very hard to tell. It's just got a bluish tint to it, even looking at different pictures. Just spray it light and then do one more coat over there. You know, you want to build that paint up. And just that way you're not spraying too much because white tends to run. It's never a fun color painting along with yellow and red. And get the wheels right there and some other stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching. You know the deal. As I said earlier, subscribe, comment, and like. Peel off this stuff right here. And until next time, as always, see ya.